happy Monday, everybody. Monday it is. Uh, how you guys doing today? How you feeling? It's a beautiful day in the trading world. Um, the good news is right now there are a couple gappers, and me doing this long enough. Me doing this long enough, I noticed that usually you kind of get a good gauge of the market very early in the morning, early in the day, for the most part. Early in the morning, like around 8, around this time, or 8 or 9, you should have a good feel for how the day is going to go. And so far, the day is looking good. There's a couple gappers on the list right now, and that's always a good sign. Um, a couple low micro cap, small cap gappers to the upside. So that's a good sign for what the day should bring us. Many opportunities. Just choose the right one and choose it wisely and choose them at the right times, the optimal times. Um, but let's get into it. The overall market is down. The SPY has gapped down today. If you guys go back and look at a couple of my older videos or even my last video, I explained how I noticed a pattern with whenever the overall market is down, the small cap market gets a little more love and attention. My theory or my explanation on it is, if the large caps are not doing much, they're going down. People are still looking for opportunities to make money. The whales in the game, the ones with a lot of money, they're still looking for money making opportunities. So therefore, a lot of them come down to this area. They come down to the small caps looking for opportunities. That's just something that I noticed. I noticed whenever the market's down, the small is up. But anyway, a couple runners. I'm not gonna be here long on this long. I'm gonna be trading, but I'm not gonna be on live here long. A couple plays here. The first being what is a reverse split. Now it doesn't have volume yet. It didn't, it has to catch the volume, and people have to it has to catch people's attention, other traders, for it to be a valid play. But this is a reverse split, 1 for 10. So it went from like 33 cent to $3.30 or something like that. And it is an offshore driller. And let's see here. Has only 2,000 shares traded at the moment, but it has a 6 million share float. That is ideal for a low float, volatile, high opportunity play. Um, as of right now, it is tradable. If you look here, what this window shows is if it says this is sure trader. If you want to know if a stock is fully marginable, or you can trade it on full margin, or if you can't trade it on full margin, you just go ahead and go up to trade, the trade tab, and then you go down to trade log. Sorry, not trade log. I'm sorry, short list. You go to the short list. You go on to the trade tab and you go down to short list. And then here you'll type in whatever symbol you're having a question about. You know what I mean? And it'll let you know. And then also it'll let you know if it's shortable. You can actually see that by looking at the level, the montage. If it has an S here, that means it's shortable. But you may want to know exactly how many shares are available to short. Some of them only have, maybe 300 shares to short. You won't really know it until you type it in on the short list. If it has this number here, this large number, one with all the zeros, that basically means unlimited shares to short. So you can short it. So that's good news for us using SureTrader, that the NAO right now is shortable. So, if it does get to moving, you can take it long or short, either one, whichever one you prefer. But yeah, anyway, when you see this say 0% margin rate, basically it means a 0% restriction level. There's no restrictions. If it says 50%, then it's 50% restricted your buying power. So you can still use margin, but you can only use half of it. So usually you have up to 6 to 1, but then you'll have a 3 to 1. Or if it says 33% restricted, then you can use 66%. Almost 7%, almost 67%. Basically, 67% of your margin. All right, so that's that. So NAO will be on the watch list for activity. Next one down is a low, very. This is nothing I would play, but I'm just putting it on here for those watching or for future reference. TRVN is down under $1, but it is a gapper. I personally don't play stocks this low, but to each his own. I personally don't play them because they only move so much. Not that they move only so much, but it's basically like a battle for every cent that moves. Because it's so low, and because each cent down here is a higher percentage of the actual price. It doesn't move too much. If it goes from 20 cent to 40 cent, what is that? That's 20 cent, right? But what is that also? That's 100% move. It went from 20 cent, so it's not gonna allow it to go too much over 100%, or whatever the case may be. So I just stay away from them altogether. But they are good plays. If you go in with a big enough size, then 10 cents is all you need. If you go in with enough size for this stock. But then also you got to keep in mind the commissions. That's another reason I don't play these, is because with SureTrader and with a lot of brokerages, not all of them, you get I think up to 500 shares at the 4.95, $4.95 per trade plus commissions. But then I think once you get over 500 shares, it starts to charge per share. It's like 0.001 cent or something like that. Not a whole cent, but that adds up. Trust me, it doesn't sound like much, but if you're getting 10,000 shares or 20,000 shares of a stock like this, that adds up quickly. So anyway, but it's a good play. It's a gapper. It's gapping up on news. TRVN had an FDA agreed conduct to conduct study in healthy volunteers. Anytime you see that FDA in the headline, usually it's gonna move a bit. These companies know, and not only that, they move anyway on that FDA approval thing, or the FDA, anything with FDA in this headline. The history of getting that in your headline is usually a good one. If you really paid attention over the years, usually you see FDA in the headline. And if you actually have a news feed, and if you have the option to filter news, some people filter it just to find FDA approvals, or FDA resignations, or um, mergers, or you can set your news feed as well, just like you set your stock scanner. If you have the right news software, you can set your news scanner to just let you know about certain types of news, the types of news that really move stocks. The type of news, not just the price target. The price target has been increased on a stock, or the price target has been cut. That's news, but it's not. It doesn't move the stocks the way we day traders want it to move. So you focus on certain types of news. So anyway, on to the next one. NVAX, another gapper. Uh, it's just gapping up on news. So I don't see the news there. Maybe it is something hidden that I don't see. But anyway, it's gapped up from 220 to the 240 area. Now it's kind of retracing back to where it came from. All right, and then let me see here. Yeah, it's retracing, but it did gap. Next one down, CNAT. This one gapped up pre-market from the $1.80 area up to 219, about a 40 cent, almost a 40 cent pop. However, this one also is retracing. So you got to keep that in mind today with trading right now. Yeah, it's gonna be some plays here because anytime you have gappers, that usually brings it brings volume. Because people see the gappers and they trade them. But right now, a lot of them are retracing. And, not holding their gains. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, I like the fact that there is a lot of gappers. And then this one here is just falling off. DLNG. This sucker here is just it's a bloody Monday for this one. Yeah, for anybody holding this one long right now, I know they're sweating a little bit. But anyway, oh yeah, this week here is Super Bowl week. They start to get the festivities going for the Super Bowl. I got some plans over the weekend, but I'll talk about that close to the end of the week. Well, actually, Friday I'm not gonna be here to trade. I'm not gonna be trading. I have some business obligations to take care of. Friday I will not be here to trade. But so far the rest of the week I'm pretty open. So anyway, I'll discuss that later. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Couple plays. NAO. That's a reverse split. Recent reverse split. Just did it overnight. So it's a fresh reverse splitter. TRVN, but it's a lower amount. CNAT, NVAX is the ones to watch. If I make any trades today, you guys will see it. I made a recap video over the weekend, to kind of give guys a idea of what you can do as well. Not only just to show my, and there's two reasons I do it. One is for my own logging purposes, so I can always look back on this. But I also like to share it to give some of you newer, people just getting into the game, ideas on how to improve your trading. And that's one way is to log everything that you trade. You don't have to use that You don't have to use that website that I was using. You can just write it down, jot down your trades, and jot down some notes with it. What was your state of mind at the time of the trade? Did you follow your rules? What were your rules? Specify everything in your notes. And then it's something you can look back on. That way you can look back on and fix it. Don't rely strictly on memory. That's the lazy way out. I'm just gonna keep it dead honest with you. That's the lazy way out. Yeah, I at one time used to kind of like, oh yeah, I could just remember what I did wrong, or I could remember everything I did or didn't do, or whatever, and then I could just work on. No, you need to write it down. Write it down. Stop being lazy. If you want to, you trying to make this a multi-million-dollar business or whatever you want to make this $100,000 business, you got to start doing some $100,000 things, man. You got to start, putting in the work. So don't cheat yourself. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you later.